So I got asked a question this morning about an announcement that was posted by Donald Trump today. So it says the ECB is expected to cut rates for the seventh time, and yet, in quote, too late. Jerome Powell, of the Fed, who's the head of the Federal Reserve, who is always too late and wrong, yesterday issued a report which was another and typical complete, quote, mess. Oil prices are down, groceries are down, and even eggs are down. And the US is getting rich on tariffs. Too late, should have lowered interest rates like the ECB long ago, but he should certainly lower them now. Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. I got asked a very simple question because based off of this, it sounds like Trump can terminate Powell. That is furthest from the truth. Trump has no say on what the Federal Reserve does. And this is the part that just irritates me. And I've been very open with you guys. I don't care to hear like the other side complain in the comment section. We need to call it for what it is. There's so much inconsistency with Trump. If roles were reversed, we would never excuse it for anyone else. Like it's that plain and simple. Am I bothered by the tariffs? Of course not. Tariffs were part of Trump's policy of his campaign, and I expected it. I knew that it would have a negative impact in the market. I wanted them. As many of you guys know, I wanted markets to drop. The part that irritates me is his inability to accept the mess and the chaos that he is creating. And it's just by simply understanding how tariffs work that yes, hopefully they do work out. I want to see them to work out, right? In the US's favor. But for you then to start pointing the finger on why things are not working out, it's just like, it's so chaotic. When it comes down to every Trumpy excusing his action of when he offered the 90-day pause for tariffs, markets went up and people started going on social media and saying, oh, the art of the deal. Are you guys blind? Are you that naive? The art of the deal? He backed down. There's no art of the deal. He backed down and is now doubling down on trying to go against China, but he backed down because he got a taste of how the markets reacted when there was a 90-day pause announced. He first says he doesn't care about the stock market and its performance, that he wants to stay the course and focus on the tariffs, but then another moment, he artificially pumps it by talking about and sharing things that only create a positive catalyst for the market in the short term. It's insane. Where you have a president who then also talks about, oh, I want to remove the ability for Congress to trade. But then he goes and his team, which again is still him because he's affiliated with it, they go and directly create a meme coin that of course creates billions of dollars of value for Trump and his team. There's no art of the deal with that. It would not be excusable if it was anyone else. It's absolutely insane. It's as insane to me as when the Democrats were excusing Biden's inability to complete and compose a full sentence. The dude was old as dirt, and they would refuse to acknowledge and accept that. Why can't we just accept that when Trump messes up, he's human. He's going to make mistakes. But it's so irritating that people cannot be their own individual and call out bullshit for what it is. It's bullshit. I have no problem with markets dropping in the short term. I wanted markets to drop. I'm all about investing long term, and I've welcomed it. As many of you guys know, I've been shorting the market. I've enjoyed it. I've made more money now than I did at the end of 2024 when markets were pushing. That's not my problem. My issue is people's inability to accept and acknowledge bullshit. That is all this is. For Trump to go out of his way and complain and whine on social media about, oh, boo-hoo. Who cares what the ECB is doing? Why are you comparing apple to oranges? You have no say on what Jerome Powell or the Federal Reserve does. That is the whole point of the central bank. So why pretend and act for the uninformed American that, oh, you're going to do something about it? You can't. You never have been able to, and you never will. It's so and then when I posted this on Instagram and I was like, what do you guys think about Trump? People were responding, oh, he's just trying to negotiate. Just let him negotiate. What is there to negotiate? He has no power, no say in what the Federal Reserve does. So why waste your breath? It literally cheapens the presidency. His inability to stay focused and to stay consistent with what he is actually trying to do. Like if you want to raise tariffs and raise havoc with all these tariffs because you want to renegotiate, do it. Do it. And I mean, if it works out, then you made it happen. But to be so inconsistent with everything it is that you do, everything it is that you say, you always go back on your word. You always blame other people for what it is that you're doing. This is why so many Republicans are losing hope on Trump, because of his inability to accept that although in the short term, yeah, there is some chaos, there are some fires that are setting up. Who cares? It's part of the process. Why do you have to be so cheap, so chaotic with the way that you speak, so reckless, especially in the most powerful position in the world, the President of the United States? And the dude cannot stay off of Twitter. It's insane to me. So very simple. Trade war is still present. Fear is still present. The idea of a recession still present. In the short term, right, just like Jerome Powell said yesterday, it's not a surprise. It's not out of left field. We all knew the elephant in the room. Yes, with higher tariffs, we are set to see inflation pick up. And that will be expressed in following CPI reports. Again, it's not rocket science, it's common sense. Your inability to acknowledge or accept that is no one else's fault but yourself. So yes, if you try to fight the trend of why markets are selling off, then you will simply pay the price. You shouldn't fight it. Again, shorting is not for everyone. I'm not here to encourage you to short. All I'm saying is as markets drop, beautiful, right? Let's acknowledge for what it is. It's deals. And if you can tolerate the time that it might take for markets to recover, maybe you can buy or invest in 1 or 2, 3 different companies that you see value in. That's the whole point, right? Investing now while markets are fearful to be able to sell when markets are greedy. We all know the deal, right? We all know the plan. But stick to it. When it comes down to this inconsistency of this complete BS back and forth of what Trump is saying, This is why I would say so many people are losing hope on him. And it's because his inability to stay consistent with what he stands for. There's nothing wrong with him wanting to raise tariffs. Stick to it. There's nothing wrong with that. Who cares about the impact that it might have on the market in the short term? Who cares? But stop looking for excuses. Stop looking for validation from other people. Stop pretending like you have an impact or influence in the Federal Reserve. You don't. You never will. So why open your mouth? It's just that simple. Stay the course, do your job. Just like Jerome Powell, some people hate him, right? Because, oh, he won't cut rates. He doesn't need to. He has his role. He stays the course. He's not outspoken or outlandish, embarrassing about what it is that he's saying or what he says. He focuses on his job and he gets it done to the best of his ability. And that's all we could ever ask. No one's ever going to be perfect. Not one individual and every action that they take is always going to be ideal. So why pretend? Why pretend like it is? Very simple. So in this market full of chaos, let's stay patient. Let's stay calculated. Don't use leverage. And again, this is a good time to, in my opinion, invest in companies that you see value in long term, but make sure that you understand that, yeah, in the short term, we might see more pain before we see the gain. So again, take that into consideration when you decide to invest, right? That more pain can happen before we see the gain. So just be mindful of that. Make sure that you can tolerate the time that it might take for the markets to recover. Again, you guys know my focus is always the same thing. I don't care that I voted for Trump. My thing is if I see bullshit and it looks like bullshit and it smells like bullshit, then call it out for what it is. It's bullshit, right? I don't want to be biased when it comes down to that stuff. You guys know that I want markets to drop. Yet, again, I like to talk about the potential for them to recover. I always try to be level-headed in the way that I speak and approach the market because I know, again, There's so many of you that are watching my videos that I don't want you to be influenced based off of my bias. I just want you to understand what's going on with the market. That's my only intention with this video. You guys let me know down in the comment section how you think I did with this video. I hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And again, if you ever want to watch me trade live every single day, every trade I take, every entry, every exit, second link in the description down below. I appreciate your time like always. Let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.